Hey, it's me, MLB. Welcome back to another book. This one has been long awaited for, but before I start reading this story for you all, I just want to give a little bit of background so that no one gets left behind when things get a little bit complicated. Back when dinosaurs roamed the earth and I was on Wattpad, kidding, I'm not that old, my readers there had all read Be With Me, Why You, I Me, and Pinpoint, and had all been asking for continuations of each of the books, all at the same time. And I got a little overwhelmed and thought, how can I give everybody the continuations that they want at the same time so that there's no one going, oh, but I wanted the Bakugou continuation first, etc. Because I knew it was going to take me forever to get back to each book. And thus, I decided to do a compilation of continuations for the 3 books into this one book. So this book is the combined continuation for Pinpoint, the Todoroki ex-female listener book, Why You, Why Me, the Bakugou ex-female listener book, which continues into Soulmate's Honeymoon. This book can be located on my book site on www.quirkyfanfics.com, or one word for the quirky fanfics. The reason that it's not on YouTube is because it is 90% smut, so you know. Anyway, and Be With Me is the 3rd book, the Kirishima ex-female listener, the first book that I read here on YouTube. The Kiri book had by far been the most requested for the continuations on Wattpad, so I mainly focus on that one in this combined book, but you will get details on how you're going in each of your other lives with your other husbands, Shoto and Katsuki. So this all sounds very confusing, I know. So what I will do is keep yin for whenever we're following Kiri's life progression, but then for the other versions of yourself with your other husbands, I will give you, the listener, a nickname, and you'll be read in 3rd person and not as you. You'll understand when it's being read, hopefully. Each nickname will be explained as we go, so I'm not going to give any of the nicknames out here. Now, I'm fully aware that some of you are starting here with this book, and welcome if this is your first introduction to my stories. And I know that you may not have read the other books, so I'll do my best to give little bits of rehashing and background so that you don't feel like you've been left far behind. But by all means, if something doesn't make sense, just drop a comment and I'll fill you in. There are adult scenes in this book that I have cut, like I do for all my other books, but the original cut-out chapters can always be found on my Quirky Fanfics site, which a number of you are familiar with. Kaminari does feature in this book, but I've paired him with an original character of mine. This was the first book that I had played with the concept of pairing an OC with a BNHA character, because my main style is to pair with a reader, obviously, or a listener, as you're aware. There were mixed reviews about the girl that I had kind of dreamed up and matched with him. So it'll be interesting to see whether she's liked by you guys or not. This book is a bit of a slice of life type book. It does contain crossovers into Marvel, because I had always wanted to do something with the Marvel characters. So keep an eye out for that, and don't be surprised if the Avengers show up. The names of the children for the boys and yourself were picked by my Wattpad readers, and there will be another book following this one that follows them growing up and becoming heroes as well. In this story, you and the BNHA boys are all adults. If I sat down, I could work out the ages and timelines of everyone, and I will do that at some point, but today is not that day. Today we shall hear a story about you becoming a mum in like 3 different timelines. Lol, multiverse, come at me. 2 more things. 1, I do detail a little about your birthing experiences, which with each of the boys. Each birth is slightly different from the other one. Yes, I am a mum, youngish mum. Yes, I do have mum friends, so I've taken pieces from my own birthing experience and from those that I've spoken to. So I don't want to hear any of this, oh, this is so unrealistic, because, honey, that's my birth you're slamming, okay? So if the idea of birth or the trauma of your own birthing experience gets triggered while listening to these parts of the story, then please don't listen any further, baby. I do not want to have to pay for your therapy sessions. And 2, the original character that I've designed has a little bit of a sad backstory that could be triggering as well. So if you've been through a manipulative or cheating relationship, then I'll warn before the chapter starts, but you may want to skip that one. So all of that aside, let's get to it. This is Future. Chapter 1, titled Where in Our Lives. Where's Dumb here? He's late, Bakugou growled grumpily. Chill, dude. He'll be here soon, Kaminari replied, leaning back in his chair to check out the waitress that had just walked past. Shoto breathed out heavily through his nose and looked across to his wife beside him. She could sense his need to get away and smiled and patted his arm reassuringly, her beautiful hessonite ring glistening even in the dim light of the busy restaurant. Trying to lighten the mood and keep conversation going, she turned and spoke to Bakugou. Where's your soulmate tonight, Bakugou? You two are usually inseparable, she asked with a soft smile. He looked at her, narrowing his eyes and glowering. None of your business, he growled. Don't be rude, Shoto said darkly, looking as if he were about to jump his ex-classmate for speaking so tersely to you. Honey, it's okay, Shoto's wife chuckled, patting his arm again to calm him down. It's fine, I know how he is, you don't need to stress. Shoto calmed and looked lovingly at her, his eyes softening at her quiet, sweet voice. He leaned over and kissed her gently on the lips, one hand caressing her pregnant belly. Hey, that reminds me, Kaminari piped up, his attention being pulled away from the leggy waitresses that were parading by. Congratulations on the pregnancy, you two. Thank you, Kaminari, Shoto said courteously. We're excited to meet him. Oh, so you know it's a boy then? Kaminari asked with a grin. That's awesome. Bakugou grit his teeth and looked away. He and his soulmate had had a little falling out. She was also heavily pregnant, and he just couldn't do anything right. He had stormed out of the house to go to this meeting, and hadn't said sorry for making her cry. So seeing Shoto and his wife hopelessly in love made him sick with jealousy. He was the one with the actual soulmate. They, he and his girl, should be the ones all loved up and happy, not these two half-baked idiots. What about you, Kaminari? Where is your girlfriend? Shoto asked the electric blonde, who had looked away by this point to watch yet another girl saunter up to the bar in a miniskirt. Oh, me. Yeah, nah. Don't have anyone at the moment, he replied casually, tearing his eyes away from a potential new target. What happened to Barista Chick? Bakugou asked, happy that someone here wasn't loved up and mushy. Who? Oh, Barista Chick, who, ended up joining our class? He asked, nodding as he remembered. Yeah, she dumped me, man, he added nonchalantly, looking past Bakugou to watch another girl on the table nearby. Didn't you date someone else after her? Bakugou asked again. Yeah, Kaminari replied, still distracted by the girls at the other table. Yeah, Suki, the waitress I almost dated for a bit, a voice from behind Kaminari said. The blonde turned to see who had spoken, and his eyes landed on Kirishima, who was giving him a big toothy grin. About time, dumb here, Bakugou grunted as Kiri went around the table, shaking hands and making other polite greetings to the other classmates and Shoto's wife. Where were you? Bakugou snapped, his glowing red eyes tearing shreds off Kirishima. Oh, I just had an appointment thing with Yin. It's all good, though, the redhead said, waving his hand dismissively. How's your wife going, Bakugou? She's due soon, isn't she? Bakugou leaned back in his chair and grunted as he crossed his arms across his chest. Yeah, another month or so. That's so exciting, bro. Super manly to be having kids, hey. You'll be a great dad, Kiri said, holding the smile on his face for as long as he could. Bakugou smirked. I'm going to be the #1 best dad ever, he said proudly. What about you, dude? Kaminari piped up, addressing Kirishima. You want kids too? Kiri jumped slightly and his gaze fell. Yeah, maybe one day, he mumbled, shifting slightly on his feet before pulling a chair out and sitting. Oh, excuse me, a young female voice said from beside him. Are you the hero of Red Riot? She asked hopefully. Yes, I am, Kiri beamed, thankful for the change in the subject. The young teen fangirled quietly. Oh my gosh, she squealed in a suppressed voice. Can I please have your autograph? Of course, he said, grabbing a pen from his pocket. I'd be happy to. Suddenly another voice nearby addressed Bakugou. Sir, are you, dynamite? Bakugou shot the young boy a disgusted look. Yeah, why? Well, I'm a big fan, and I was wondering if I could... No! Back off, you dweeb. Bakugou! Kirishima snapped. Don't be rude. You're going to be a father soon. Think about if this kid was yours. I wouldn't have such an ugly kid. Bakugou! Kirishima said firmly, cutting into Bakugou's sentence. Give him an autograph. Bakugou clicked his tongue against his teeth and snatched the pen from Kiri's hand. Fine, he growled, angrily scribbling his name on the kid's notebook. Now get out of here, he snarled at the kid, who promptly scurried away. Has everyone got drinks? Kiri asked suddenly, realising he didn't have one in front of him. Yeah, dude, we're all set, Kaminari piped up. Want me to grab you one? Nah, bro, I've got it. I'll grab one, Kiri said quickly, standing up and making his way to the bar. He ordered a drink and then rested his arms on the countertop, only then allowing his shoulders to slump and his face to fall. He'd been putting on a brave face all night, but today's appointment with his wife, Ikki, was starting to really plague him. Was everything going to be okay? The hell's wrong with you? A gruff voice said from beside the redhead suddenly. Kiri's head shot up and over, and his eyes met Bakugou's angry crimson ones. Huh? Kiri asked. Don't play dumb with me, dumbhair. I know something's wrong, Bakugou said stiffly, leaning on the counter beside Kirishima. What's happened? Kiri sighed and looked back down at the countertop in front of him. He knew he couldn't hide his true emotions from Bakugou. The aggressive, tempered hero knew him too well. It's yin, bro, he said, not knowing how much to tell Bakugou yet. We're, expecting, but I don't think everything is... His voice trailed off. How far along is she? Bakugou asked abruptly. About 8 weeks, Kiri said dejectedly. No one knows yet, bro. So if you could keep it... Yeah, I know, Bakugou said, looking at Kiri briefly before looking away. Text me when you know if everything's alright, yeah? He said lowly, before turning and walking back to the table. Kiri watched him walk back. Your drink, Red Riot, the bartender said. Oh, thank you, Kiri said happily, accepting the drink and plastering a big, fake, toothy smile on his face before heading back to his ex-classmates. And there ends Chapter 1. It started a little bit sad. We'll have to stay tuned for Chapter 2 to see what happens. See you tomorrow.